back at it again, season 2.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to Manhattan's Voice. My name is Julian West.
My name's Nicole Miranda.
And my name is David Gustavo Contreras.
Welcome to season 2, everybody. We're doing things a little bit differently this time around. We're kind of taking some of our identity back from NYIT. Yep. We're a student-run, student-funded, student-focused podcast.
We don't need no man.
Exactly. We really just want to better cater to our audience and feel more comfortable with what we're putting out, you know? So we're still going to go over school events and stuff and things that will pertain to the New York City campus and students at the New York City campus.
We just won't care as much when we say it.
We'll focus more about what we think is I don't know.
Relevant.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because we're not going to say stuff promoting things from NYIT, obviously, because if we're being honest, why we're not collabing or whatever with NYIT is because they obviously don't recognize us as much as we wanted to. Just gonna say it, shots fired. I don't care. It's just
we're doing our thing.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing our thing. We don't need to represent anyone else but ourselves. So that's what we're doing, and who cares? And we're just gonna move on with this lovely season that's ahead of us.
Hopefully, it'll help us put out better podcasts for you guys because we'll be a little bit more focused on
students.
Yeah.
So turn it.
Yeah.
Beautifully put.
Happy Valentine's Day, because this episode is going up on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Happy New Year.
Happy New
too.
Year. We haven't talked to you guys since that little bonus episode that went up.
Yeah.
It's
been
a month, over a month.
Month and a half.
About a month and a half
Yeah,
now.
something like that.
But you know what? We're back.
You've missed this. I know you've missed this.
It's been a while. We're back. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we wouldn't abandon you like that. So how is everyone's semester going so far?
You can go first.
Okay, well, throw it right back at me. Okay.
Age before beauty.
I'm doing pretty well. I feel like I'm in a good place where I'm not too overwhelmed, and I feel like I'm doing a better job of managing my time and energy.
Thanks to No Stress Tuesday.
And yes, if you haven't been yet, please come out to No Stress Tuesdays.
I guess we'll just get to the quick announcement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm facilitating No Stress Tuesdays this semester in conjunction with IEE and Lucio Garrick and Nicole Menendez. So thank you to you guys for giving me the opportunity to be a part of your team and help out with running this amazing event. It's really fulfilling. If you haven't tried meditation, if you're interested, if you haven't meditated for a while, come on down. It's every Tuesday, free hour in 26 West Room 408.
And obviously, if you can't tell, Julian has a voice of just pure golden honey in the ears. So
stop.
He puts you in a tranquil state of mind.
I try.
Yeah, I went today, and I would say that was probably the best I've meditated.
Wow.
Yet.
I should have
I'm
gone,
glad.
but I
was
was doing things for the newspaper.
It's okay. You're a bad friend. Don't even worry about it.
Wow. So you're really gonna throw that card out there.
It's not like we're a team or anything.
Wow.
Whatever. We don't support each other in our endeavors. It's fine.
So see, what had happened was.
Nicole, why don't you tell us about your semester? How it's going so far?
It's going pretty good. I have obviously the same workload, maybe a little bit more, but everything's going pretty well compared to last semester because I feel like now, since I get the hang of it with the newspaper, the podcast, my jobs and schoolwork and stuff like that, everything kind of works out, and that's pretty good because I like myself on some certain schedules. And
always pretty useful.
Yeah, true. And honestly, I'm really good at time managing things, so it's going easy.
Yeah, she'll get an assignment on Monday, have it done by Wednesday. It's
that's
crazy.
That's literally me. Tomorrow I got an assignment for Monday, and then it's due next Tuesday. But Julie and I are gonna record on Wednesday because we ain't out here waiting last minute for anything.
Oh, they meant the podcast. I'm like, wait.
No.
Separate
thing.
For sure.
What's going about?
Separate thing.
Am I being let go?
No. Yeah,
We're just gradually phasing you out.
By the end of the episode, all right, David, you're out.
No. But besides that, everything's going pretty good.
Cool.
And I'm trying to do a thing where I complete all of my homework during the week, so then the weekend, then I have free.
I'm doing the same exact thing.
And it's working. It's
That's
honestly
what I'm trying to
working.
do. Yeah.
And I actually did it for the first time this past weekend, and I was stress free. I hung out with my cousins.
I feel like
stayed up late.
my weekend is gonna be
beautiful.
Golden.
Beautiful.
All right.
I do whenever.
Okay.
How are you doing, David?
Not too bad. I'm glad to be back in the city. Long Island's kind of boring, as you all know.
True.
But yeah, I'm taking 5 classes this semester, coming 4 times a week. It's nice. It's good to see everyone. I've missed you both. Oh, by the way,
cry.
shout out to our live audience today.
Oh,
Christian.
Mr.
Christian.
Christian
Ochoa.
Ochoa Diaz.
He's gonna be.
Thank you very much.
He's actually gonna be our live audience every week, well, when he can, because he's our like in-house photographer doing candid photos of us when we're doing whatever.
That'll
so
help.
Ochoa,
like-
give me a heyo.
he didn't
That-
even need to
that
come
picked it up.
close to the
Yeah.
mic.
That picked it up. We got that. But yeah, he's gonna help us out with our social media production stuff and like getting photos out for you
Because
guys.
obviously you can see that we're rebranding since we're
Yes.
pulling away from the school.
Shout out to that new color palette.
Oh yeah.
We're just trying new stuff, you know. I mean, and it's not even really a color palette; it's more of
Yeah.
like an aesthetic,
Yeah,
you know.
it's aesthetic.
But
No, screw that color palette. I'm over it.
but yeah, we're really trying to mix things up this semester and make things better for us and better for you.
So you can obviously tell with the rebranding from the podcast. Obviously, David got a new jacket, so that's what's actually really different about this season. The
I faded my
jacket,
beard now.
and he
I
faded the
fade my
beard.
beard now.
Forget Julian's hair if you don't
Oh
know.
yeah, for the
Yeah.
record, the elephant in the room. Holy moly! If you guys aren't watching, Julian has a brand new hair color. It's
Yeah.
like a thunderstormish, grayish, bluish.
I've gotten a lot of
this kid has
cloud
been, this kid
comments
has been
today.
raking in the compliments today.
No,
It's
but I like
weird.
it.
They are coming by the boatload.
It's really, really
awesome. I
weird.
love it.
All right.
It's okay.
I give it 10 out of 10 stars.
Oh,
Thank
and this
you.
season I cut my hair.
Cut
I
your
chopped it
hair.
all off.
She did. She did cut her
It
hair.
almost was up to my.
She really did that.
Up to my hip. Now it's up to my shoulders. If you can't see,
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
yay!
And I cut my hair a little shorter as well.
Oh, yeah. Put it to the side.
Yeah, it's
what else?
what did I say in the
To the left
edit? It's
side.
parted to the
Yeah.
left.
Definitely go check out those videos too.
So to run through a couple things before we get into our main topic of the day,
Yes, I will
before
pull
we
it up.
talk about love, Oscars. The Oscars were this
Oscars.
past
Woo!
Sunday.
Oh,
Holy moly.
Bong Joon-ho and Parasite, they were my favorite going into the
Yeah.
Oscars this year, and they won big. I'm
Yeah.
so happy for them.
I had been telling everybody,
Um,
even you, like, oh yeah, I mean, like it'd be cool if Parasite one, but like it's like the white Oscars.
Yeah,
you
yeah, we
know?
were
Like,
talking
I
about,
doubt they're that progressive and open minded to
Yeah.
let a foreign film win Best Picture.
Yeah,
ever.
we were talking about the Best Picture award
Yeah.
and who might win.
My money was on 1917.
1917 definitely had, I think, like a chance, but
A fighting
j-
chance.
I wouldn't call it a fighting chance. But I feel like Parasite is like a really rare film, and it definitely like
Oh, yeah.
deserved all the recognition
haven't
it got
seen it
this year.
Have you seen it?
What?
Parasite?
Nicole has not seen Parasite yet.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
meow,
It's a hard one to
meow.
find. It's a
She
hard
will
one to
be
find.
shunned by the comm arts department until she goes
I'm
and
gonna start
sees
crying right now.
Parasite.
We're
Sorry.
taking some credits back. We just don't deserve it.
Okay, see what happened was.
If you guys haven't seen Parasite yet, please go see it. It's an outstanding
But
film.
Also,
I need to see it
also
again.
see Jojo Rabbit, Irishman.
Go watch Jojo
Oh.
Rabbit. Go watch
Oh.
Irishman.
What?
Go watch
Jojo Rabbit.
You, like,
1917.
you saw Jojo Rabbit?
No, I saw
Oh,
the trailer.
I haven't seen
good.
Jojo Rabbit yet.
So
It
good.
looks
I
really
loved
good.
it. It was absolutely adorable.
I heard it was great. Yeah.
Cried almost twice in that movie.
Uh,
You're so stupid.
Bro, I don't know what happened. At a certain point in my life, I just started just like, oh, yep, I cry for movies now. No problem.
I don't. The
Oh.
only movie
Okay.
I've cried for so far,
Bro,
the one movie has been the documentary about Mr. Rogers.
I watched
Won't You Be My Neighbor? I sobbed.
I know
it
I
was,
will.
It was bad. It was bad.
I cried for
Um,
Rudy.
You guys are gonna kill me too because I didn't even watch the Oscars. See, I don't have cable.
Really?
So yeah, I don't have cable. I
You
have my
probably could have
laptop.
like streamed it online somewhere.
Maybe I could, but I
You
don't know
didn't
what I
even.
was
Did
doing.
you
there.
try?
I mean, it's a little late now.
did you
guys.
did you try at all?
No, I didn't. Yeah, see,
Anyway.
I really appreciated that standing ovation that they gave Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese?
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Scorsese from Bong Joon, whatever his name is.
Huh?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he Bong was just like handing out compliments like I love you, Martin Scorsese. You're an
Yeah.
inspiration to me. He like
That quote,
quoted him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the more personal, the more memorable. or
something like that. Yeah, and
Interesting.
that was great.
Interesting.
Just Bong Joon-ho was just talking about like, oh, I'm gonna drink until like tomorrow.
Bro, I was so about them. It's like, dude, that would be me so hard, bro. I want to go bomb.
and there was
Can
a
we get an
picture.
award for this podcast?
There was a picture I saw on Instagram of him like making 2 of his Oscars.
I saw that,
bro.
It's like that SpongeBob episode.
Oh, I love that man. And Joaquin Phoenix, Best Actor,
Oh,
shoe in for Best Actor,
Yeah.
in my
obviously.
opinion. Performance of the year for sure. There was kind of just no competition in that.
Didn't
category.
he break
Yeah.
his knee cap or something?
Yeah,
During
no,
the shoot?
something like that. Yeah, he messed
like,
up-
was
Yeah, I think it was
when
during
he was kicking the
the,
trash.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Yeah,
dumpster.
he messed up his knee, which,
Yeah.
ouch.
Suffer for the art, man. You know,
I guess
that's what you got to do.
I guess,
And Eminem's performance,
dude,
Hold up.
so forced and just so unnecessary. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good song, but like, What was that? 2005, 2006.
The weird thing was like it felt like there were too many performances this year. Like
they do that every year.
Yeah, but it like the show I think ran like an hour and a half long. Like I think it was supposed to end at 10.
That's why I felt bad. Like Parasite, when they won Best Picture, they didn't really get a long speech.
Exactly. They tried to cut them off like quick.
Well, first of all, Renee Zellweger's speech was about an eternity long, thinking just about the entire state of California.
Yeah, she was name dropping a lot.
Oh my goodness,
a lot.
Renee, move it along.
Okay, I can't wear my glasses during this thing.
Oh, they pinch against your ears.
Dude, I'm gonna get the biggest headache.
Dude.
I just spat on the paper.
Do you think that there are any snubs that you definitely should have been nominated?
I do think that wow, why am I blanking on her name all of a sudden? Greta Gerwig.
Definitely.
She was.
I haven't seen Little Women, but it looks really good.
I want to see Little Women so bad.
I've heard it's really good.
See it, yeah, no. See, I had always thought that Little Women was in like.
All right, guys,
England.
let's skip class again and go watch it. I'm kidding.
I would never do that. Okay?
What are you talking about? Skipping class? When?
Dude,
where?
I watched Honey Boy, and I honestly think that the
I need to
kid
see that.
and Shia LaBeouf both deserved at least like a Golden Globe nod or something, because they were so good in that.
They were
movie.
good as hey.
It was really, really.
You saw
good.
Honey Boy too?
Yeah, I saw Honey Boy.
I haven't seen that.
We watch movies, you know.
Well, I saw 1917.
Obviously, I don't because
clearly.
clearly not because I didn't watch a couple.
Yeah, I will also personally recommend, outside of Parasite, just if you haven't seen that, go see that. I will also personally recommend 1917. They won 3 Oscars this past weekend. They got cinematography, editing, and
visual effects.
Visual effects.
Interesting.
I haven't felt my heart race in a theater like that in a super long time.
For 1975?
Yeah,
1975.
Wait, what?
Disco was rampant.
Yeah, I was just sitting in my chair, just like my heart was pounding.
For the,
like
the disco scene.
for the club scene. Yeah.
Well,
it was just like, I think it's something about the fact that it's a one shot style, and the fact that you're with the characters the entire time. I think that really changes the way that
I think my sister watched
the film
it
makes you feel.
She was just like, it was really good, and
it was amazing.
And like as her sister specifically, my sister doesn't really watch films like how we watch films. So then when she came back home and she said that she watched 1917, I was like, you did? And then I was just like, hold up, you liked it? And she was just like, yeah, I liked it. I was just like, interesting. Who told her to say that? But anyways.
Yeah, thank you, Sam Mendes and Roger Deakins. You made an amazing film.
Yeah, I'm really glad that Taika Waititi won Best Adapted.
Yes.
I love.
Yes.
I think he's like my idol. Bro. That guy is awesome.
What is his descent?
He's
Maori.
Yeah, he's from New Zealand.
Yeah. Congrats to Taika. That's really cool.
Not how I say that.
But yeah, that's really cool. I'm happy for him as well. That was his first Oscar, right?
Yes, well deserved, bro. That guy has a style that I really respect.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
But yeah, Gabby put me on that movie too. She told me how good it was. I thought, you know what, maybe I should watch
it. A lot of people told me about it, and you really need to see it.
Shout out to Gabby Pinewood.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gabby Pinewood. Alrighty, so
let's get into the
for quick announcements.
Oh, right.
Quick announcements.
For quick announcements, besides No Stress Tuesdays on Tuesdays during free hour, in room 404, Nicole Menendez reached out to us wanting to let you guys know that there is a spring break mission trip to Puerto Rico. You can apply to join their team to reconstruct and repair homes at Okay. I don't know how to read it. Yay!
English.
It's like a part in Puerto Rico.
Dorado.
Okay. So obviously, I'm not Hispanic. Okay. Dorado, Puerto Rico, from March 14th to March 20th. She said that there was a meeting yesterday.
Yes. By the time this episode goes up, the meeting will have been the day before.
But you could
still the applications will still be open.
Yes. Because the interest meeting was February 13th.
Yes.
But if you have any questions, you can email at amsanyc@nyit.edu or sasanyc@nyt.edu.
We'll have the link below.
Yeah,
a lot of letters.
All that info will be
AQSW 497.
Slow down. Yeah, I'll put all that info in the description.
There's a enrollment cap, 8 spots from all disciplines, limited spots available. The travel, the estimate cost is $600, including airfare, and then $100 deposit. All that good stuff. So definitely check that out.
All of the important info will be in the description.
My bad.
No offense to you.
Nicole, please. Jesus. Yeah, shout out to Nicole Menendez, friend of the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Nicole Menendez. She was a guest last season, and
If you guys didn't know, now you guys know.
yeah, she's a good friend of ours. So
All
thank you for the info.
Well, down to
Yeah, we're just chuckling at Mr. Ochoa Diaz crawling under the shot
Hey,
to
man,
make sure he
crawling
doesn't
for that,
interrupt.
that shot, man.
those photos.
I appreciate the commitment.
Yeah.
That's really
this is why you're
that's
here.
commendable.
All right, so now down
Now
to
for the meat and
and
potatoes.
potatoes.
Okay. I wasn't
First
gonna
of all,
say it.
Valentine's Day. This is obviously coming out on Valentine's Day, so we wanted to really kind of take a look
Center
at the
it.
really bad dates that us college students have really been on.
Yeah, so we reached out to you guys on
Yes.
Instagram,
Which I want to,
and
yeah,
boy, did you deliver!
thank
not
you.
only
Yeah.
Instagram, but I also got like stories from other people.
Yeah.
So then, like there's like
Yeah.
almost
And
20
we're gonna-
stories.
Well, yeah, I'm really glad that we got some listener
Responses.
involvement, man.
Yeah,
That's really
I'm
cool.
glad that
we haven't
people
really done
actually,
that. We
like-
haven't really done that yet, so I think
Yeah.
I'm really happy that people actually responded. So
You're
That was cool.
happy?
I love you all.
You're
and
happy?
we'll
I'll
sprinkle
be happy
in,
when you're quiet.
we'll sprinkle in some of our experiences as
Oh,
well
God.
amongst everything
If you
else.
can-
If you
that's
can handle
going
the
on.
cringe.
Yeah, the cringe is gonna be strong.
Ugh.
Just be prepared.
All
So
right.
who wants to read
Guacamole.
our first
Okay,
encounter here?
I'm gonna read it because I was actually there for this.
What?
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go clockwise.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right. So it says, I met this guy while crossing the street on my way to a club. I thought I thought he was trying to run me over, but he was just trying to get my attention.
That's how you do it. That's how you do
That's
it.
how you make
do it,
an introduction. Yeah.
Yeah. Attempted manslaughter. Hell yeah.
He pulled down his window and I approached him. He asked me where I was going and I told him the name of the club. He told me he would meet me there and I said okay as if I believed him.
Yeah, okay, bud. Whatever. Sure.
I get to the club and I'm dizzy with my girls. I suddenly feel a hand grab my shoulder. I turn around and I see it's the guy. We started to get to know each other and exchanged numbers. The following week,
Wait, first of all, is like grabbing just somebody by their shoulders at a club, like, is that kosher? I feel like that would be.
I
I
have
would
no
would
idea.
not be about that,
I
bro.
have no
would
idea.
knock
Bro,
someone
don't-
out.
Don't touch me, bro.
I'd
Well,
be
you
like-
just don't like being touched.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody would want to be grabbed by the shoulder and turned around.
I think maybe it was like more nicely, like I don't know, but
a
whatever.
gentle tap.
Gentle.
Poke on the shoulder.
So it says, I turned around and I see it's the guy. We started to get to know each other, exchanged numbers. The following week, he asked me out on a date. He picks me up in a really nice Porsche SUV. We end up hanging at his place. He started talking about traveling and all these places he's been to. I then told him I never traveled because I didn't have a passport. At that moment, he literally, I'm pretty sure he Venmo'd or sent the person.
Oh, okay. This
100
is something completely
Yeah, there's
different.
a big typo.
Yeah,
here.
holy moly.
No.
Okay, for
Typo.
all those who don't say, it says at that moment he literally killed me
me.
for $150 for my passport. I was about to say, this girl got really conned. Holy moly.
She's writing this from the afterlife.
She actually got the $150 for the passport, and she never got the
What?
passport.
So he has her passport?
No.
No.
Oh, I
The
thought he-
guy-
I
the
thought he,
guy
like,
Venmo'd
I
her
thought
a-
he stole her
He
passport.
No.
Venmo'd her $150 to buy her passport.
And she never bought
But she
it.
never bought
Hell yeah. Whoever that is, props to you.
So-
We're gonna keep this all anonymous just
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, we're not gonna
face,
we're not
just
gonna
to
drop
save
any
face,
names.
Yeah, no one's
Yo,
gonna say anything.
legend. That is hysterical. If you know if whoever that is, tell him props. That is hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that the $150 was
Spent well.
was
I'm
spent
glad, I'm glad she survived this ordeal too.
Survived this tragic night. Okay, so
Just
who's
my
next?
Lord.
imagine getting $150 just dropped in your Venmo
Bro,
balance.
I
Like,
wouldn't I wouldn't buy the
There you
passport either.
go.
I'd be like, taking myself out to a nice dinner. All right,
All right,
so who's gonna read
David,
the rest?
David, you're
yourself.
on the next
Okay.
one.
Oh, this one's gonna kind of be funny too. Go.
So I knew this guy for like a couple months, and we ended up drinking, going to some bar. After the bar, we decided to ride electric scooters. Ooh, and they say romance is dead. Mind you, we're drunk and got on one scooter together. Already, bad start. Inside, I'm screaming, but I was trying not to be.
Yeah, we're in a book club now, guys. You can hear all the pages flipping.
I'm sorry. I was trying not to be nervous. He's going fast as the scooter allows him to go and skates off the curb. My first thought is, I hope I don't pass the tooth, but instead my toe scrapes the floor. All I can remember is me crying on the floor. Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
So
I
Holy
know those
moly.
electric scooters go like 20 something miles per hour.
That'll
like,
cause some damage.
so
20
like
miles an
high
hour.
20s?
Yeah, no, that's
So
That's pretty fast.
that'll mess you up. That'll mess you up.
That's
uh,
scary.
Ow, dude, the toe scraping the
Yeah,
That's like the worst part. A toe.
I
for
wouldn't
real.
recommend intoxicated driving of electric scooters.
True.
But
But you know what?
you
This
do
was
you,
the moment.
you know?
This was
You
just
do
the
you.
moment.
Dude, I would if I was on a date and the person's like, "Oh, let's go and ride a scooter," I'd be like,
No.
"You want to ride a scooter? What are we, 12?"
I'm
Get
gonna
on
walk.
my razor.
Yeah, right.
All right. Anyways, go.
So next,
That's our opinion
Shout
on
out,
that
yeah.
date.
Shout out. So far, pretty much moral is don't
Yeah,
be
we're-
strangers and don't ride scooters
we're
on
not
dates.
we're not
bro.
roasting you for
Yeah,
getting
but
on
only
a scooter.
yeah, no, definitely no. That definitely sounds rough.
It's just the circumstances.
Because to
rough.
be fair, if this is me, I probably would be crying on the floor too. Like,
Yeah,
off a
yeah.
20 mile per hour
I think,
scooter.
I think we all would.
Oh, I scraped my toe.
Oh my god.
So this next one is pretty wild.
Oh,
It was a
gosh.
Saturday night. I went out with one of my girlfriends and ended up running into a friend that I knew. We went dancing and drinking that night. After the club closed at 3 a.m., we decided to go to the beach.
I'm sure this person is
Uh,
21, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
obviously.
all the drinking stuff
It's
is people
21.
of age. Yeah. They ended up going skinny dipping at 5 a.m. at the beach. While we were out in the water, I almost drowned, and the current threw me against the rocks.
Oh my! All butt naked too.
Exactly.
That's terrifying.
All I
Wait, mind
remember-
you, the person who sent this is really tiny and is smaller
You know who
than
this
me.
is?
I know who everybody is.
You know who everyone is?
Yes.
I try to keep it mysterious.
I know like two of them.
I don't want to.
know.
This is none of my business. You know.
Because I was the one who got the stories, so then I was the one who uploaded.
You didn't
this.
get all of them. Excuse you.
Hold the heck up! I did.
Listen here, sweetie.
So
There you go.
all I remember was being saved by a random lady and having scratches all over my body. I then got dressed and decided to go to
Dude, imagine
walk.
being saved while you're butt naked. Oh my God.
I decided to get dressed and decided to walk to the other side of the beach. Next thing I know, it's 12 p.m. on Sunday afternoon.
What?
So this started on a Saturday night.
Yeah, ended up
Went
on
to
a
Oh, this is
Sunday.
12
5
p.m.
a.m. though.
Sunday afternoon.
That's crazy.
I wake up to people saying, "Are they dead?" I wake up to find myself with severe sunburns from my ripped jeans and tank top. I end up looking like a tomato for the following 3 weeks. Never again will I go skinny dipping at 5 a.m. in the morning drunk.
Dude, we're learning some
You
strong
know what?
morals.
You know what? You learned something. At
learned-
least you learned something.
Dude, if you saw somebody drowning but they're buck ass naked, would you jump in the water to save them?
Maybe.
Like I wouldn't even
I
save
think
you if you're buck
I
ass
think
naked.
if they're
bro.
like within reach, maybe
Get a pool noodle and just like, kind of grab them.
grab on.
That's insane.
that would be very
First
awkward.
of all, that's terrifying. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'll hope you're okay, person. Because
I-
holy
hey,
moly.
they learn from their experience.
No, totally a great story, but my gosh, that's terrifying.
Okay.
Are they dead?
I think anybody want to sprinkle one of their experiences in here? While
Go.
we're-
God, I don't know.
David.
While we
I
have
just-
some
I,
time.
I
You
don't really
go.
have a bunch of like bad date stories, but I feel like I have like a bunch of like cringy like texting girls in high school type
Okay, do it,
stories.
do it.
Okay.
What's okay, I feel like everybody's pulled the whole like sent a text and like saying like, oh my bad, that was my cousin, sorry, never mind, that totally wasn't me, totally
I
was
think
like
we've
my
all been
go-to move.
Yeah.
Oh, you're hot.
Sorry.
Oh my bad, that was my cousin.
Sorry,
like
someone
oh,
stole my phone.
That's crazy, bro. Like, bro, nah, but for real, like I agree with him for sure. It's crazy. Bro, that's the stuff that keeps me up at night. Honestly, just like, oh my
Same,
god, just
same.
so cringe.
it hurts me
Ugh.
physically.
Literally, I was like, oh god.
So yeah, high school was not a good time.
High school was a horrible time.
I like the
I
thing
was
is
ugly.
I liked my high school.
the whole
but-
time.
I was ugly. And I didn't know how to be social. And I couldn't read people. And I put myself in some really dumb situations.
Do you guys want to hear this horrible thing?
Go ahead.
So when my sister was a senior, when I was living in Miami, I was a freshman and my sister was a senior. So I would like go out to parties with her and stuff like that because my mom was like that type of mom's like, you're not gonna go out unless your sister goes out with you.
Okay.
But I love my mom for that. You know, I got to make friends who were
That's very
older than
smart.
me.
Yeah.
I had experiences. So since I knew all these people who were older than me, like juniors and seniors, and I was just like a freshman, there was this one junior that I thought was so cute. And I don't know, like he was this like tall, skinny white boy. It was just like
My
whatever.
favorite.
I guess.
Sounds like
My
an
favorite.
e-boy.
No.
it sounds
He
like to me.
he was into like fishing, stuff like that. My taste.
Yeesh, Jesus.
Did he shop at like Bass Pro Shop?
Probably. So then,
Oh,
anyways,
Picking up clothes
so
at Abercrombie and Fish.
I remember one time I was waiting for my mom at the like in the front of the school with my sister, and the guy was there, and we were like all talking stuff like that. And then I don't know, but all I remember is that he told me that he would only date me if he was my sister's height and had my sister's eyes. So it was just like, so basically my sister.
wait.
You had
He
your
told
Wait,
me.
how
said-
how
you
much
said-
taller is your sister than
My
you?
my sister is shorter than me. She's like 4'10" and I'm like
Okay, so
5'3".
he wants you to shrink yourself
Yeah.
and change your eye color.
Yeah. So
So when you do that, get back to me, sweetheart. All right.
So
So-
basically what he said is,
you're
I don't
ugly.
like you, I like your sister.
Exactly. So I was just like, wow, like this kid that I thought was really cute literally just told me no, but your sister, yes. And I'm like, oh my god. And I literally got that so many times. My sister's really pretty, so obviously, and I was
You
like,
are too, honey.
and-
Don't worry.
thanks. And I was like,
Thanks.
especially like my freshman year, because I'm like a kid. I'm like 14, and I'm like ugly, weird.
14. That's a
And
rough
he
age.
like
That's a
ba-
Exactly.
and
That's a
basically like
rough
to your
age.
face, he also just like said you're ugly.
Exactly.
I
So
get
I
that.
was like, wow, this really just happened, and I'm literally never gonna forget this in my life because
Ugh.
I'm so sad.
we
But
all,
whatever.
we all have scars.
Yeah, we have scars.
I'll share my
High school,
details.
embarrassing.
I'll share my details after another couple stories here.
Okay, number 4.
You don't have to say the number, but
Coming up next, number 4. Dude wore those ugly at. I'm sorry.
that is not in the
That's
text.
not. What
You
is that?
added a
I'm
word.
ad-libbing. I'm ad-libbing. Dude wore these ugly ass New Balance sneakers with dress pants and a button down. SMH in all caps.
SMH was in the text.
Okay, honestly, New Balance shoes are really nice.
No,
No.
'cause
If
maybe
she's
there
talking
are some
about
ugly ones.
if she's talking about those like chunky white
oh,
Fila
those
shoes,
grandfather ones.
those
No,
are
but those
stupid.
are those are Fila's. These are New Balances.
I just whatever she's talking about, I feel like they're hype beast shoes,
I'm
and those
picturing
are
those
dumb.
like big ones with the giant N on the side.
Exactly.
The white ones.
I
Exactly.
really hope. I
The
really
grandpa
hope.
sevens.
I really hope.
Besides the New Balance thing, I'm feeling a little hurt by this one.
Yeah, this is
'cause
straight
it's
attacking you.
It's kind
Straight
of my
attacking you.
kind of my style.
Wow.
A little bit. Like when I'm not wearing a sweater, I'm wearing a button down.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the two.
Well, at least you're not wearing ugly New Balance. Oh, sorry, ugly ass New Balance
yeah.
sneakers.
No,
See, the
but
thing is,
it's
I've
fine.
worn like my gross Chucks on a date.
I mean, Converse are
Hey man,
nice.
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
They
Yeah.
have character, especially
Exactly.
when they're like beat up.
Yeah. Oh, they're beat up.
Character. All right.
Next, short and to the point. My date brought her own hot sauce to dinner on our first date.
First of all,
I feel like
that's an attack on me because I used to carry hot sauce in my car all the time, bro.
that'd be
Oh
kind
my
of sick.
God.
I had a bottle of Valentino wherever I went.
I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Like if it's a really good hot sauce too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
A lot
You
of
go-
places don't have the
and-
good stuff.
and if
man.
you go to a restaurant that requires hot sauce for a
Amen.
meal, like
Okay.
that's kind
fine.
of sick.
Just bring like
I'm
the
not
little
gonna
bottle,
lie.
not like the big
Yeah.
bottle.
I had
Not like the
like you know
big,
those bottles at Chipotle, the big
the little Tabasco
no
sauce
the big ones,
things.
the big ones, the Valentinos with the orange cap.
That's what you used to bring
I
in your.
carry that in my car
What?
wherever I went.
Oh my
In my
god.
glove box, like it was a gun.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I was told. I would. Are you kidding me? I still have a bunch of hot sauce.
All right.
I keep that thing on me.
Okay. Word. Short. So this one's for me. It says to talk about this
In all caps for Nicole.
Yes.
Yeah.
this date that just happened because I asked people to send me their like dates, but they just told me to talk about this date. I'm not gonna say the names because
Yeah, don't.
okay, but
don't say
I'm
the
gonna
names.
substitute
can
it.
we use fake names?
I'm gonna use fake names. So the
How
guy's
about Bruce
name is
and
Bruce
Stefania.
and Stefania.
Okay.
Okay, so Bruce and Stefania, I think they've been talking for a while, whatever. And so right now, my cousins and I, and like my sister and whatever, we have this big group of friends, like 13, 14
That limits it
people.
down to people you know.
Yeah. This big group of people that literally that Saturday we went paintballing in the morning, soccer in the afternoon, and then at night we went.
You're just limiting it down to people who are there.
Oh
And-
yeah.
And then wait, what was the last
And
thing?
then we went to Korean barbecue.
Okay.
So supposedly
Mm.
this was their first date and or whatever, but like they're friends and like they know each other, whatever. So I don't really think it's like a first date, but whatever. So we went to this Korean barbecue and it's like a big table of us. And then there was soju.
This is their first date
Supposedly.
with a group. That sounds really awkward.
I know.
Yeah,
It
it sounds kinda
wasn't.
rough.
No, it wasn't awkward because it was actually really fun. Because
Yeah,
like
but I
all
don't
of
know.
us.
I wouldn't want to go on a first date with a group.
I don't know.
That
I don't think it
sounds
was.
mad awkward.
I honestly don't think it's the first date, but I think it's the first time they actually went out to like a really nice, like a nice place. Maybe I don't know. Whatever.
That sounds like a date.
You know what? It's a time to
they
delay
went
it
to
out.
they went to a nice place together. Oh, that's a date. Yeah.
All right. You know what? Shut up. Anyways, so they're here, and then what's his name? Bruce has never had the juice, soju, and soju has like alcohol in it. It's a like Korean like
Soju.
They have
Yeah,
age?
soju. Yeah, they're of age.
it is a Korean alcohol. I
They're of
believe.
age.
So you look at me like I know.
Don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Korean.
Yeah, something like that. So there, so he's never like had soju or a drink in his life, and
I'm sorry, you keep calling it soju. It's soju.
Okay,
It's
so
just-
my bad.
It's so juice, bro.
Continue.
So he has
I'll
like
start saying that now.
Soju.
so Bruce has like 11 shots of this. Okay,
Whoa.
11.
Yikes.
11 shots of anything will mess you
A
up.
lot of other people in this group are way older. They're like in their 20s and like deep like
Yeah,
like,
liver's just destroyed at that point.
so they're used to drinking and stuff like that. Mind you,
Amen,
this
brother.
is Bruce's first time. So he drinks 11. By like the 8th one, I'm like, all right, stop. And he was just
Bud,
like,
slow it down.
No, I'm good.
no.
I'm good.
got.
And then-
talking
and
about?
Stefania is right next to him and was just like, maybe you shouldn't.
Hey, stop.
Chill out. But he was just like, no, it's okay, whatever. So basically, he ends up getting like drunk at the dinner table.
White girl wasted.
He's
Oh.
like literally white girl wasted, like just chilling, and like I'm just like with everybody else, and we're just like, what is happening? We feel so bad, but everybody goes through it. Like at one point that they get drunk and then like they get like that. But at least the most important part is that he was with people that he knew and he trusted.
Dude, imagine that on a date.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So, but you know what? Stefania pulled through, and she is that girl. Because even the next day, after this like long night of trying to get him like sober up and like ready to go back home
She
to his
stuck with him?
parents. Yes, she said,
Wifey, it's
"My
wifey.
lover and my
That's
best friend."
that is wifey right there.
That is
for real.
wifey. Stefania is a number one example
yeah.
of wifey. She took care of him. She literally was texting his parents like, "Oh yeah, mom, just watching the game and like watching like the fight."
Oh, she
and
was
stuff
like texting
that.
as him.
Yes, and like she was just like doing like the most because like you know what, people go through it and it's
If
fine.
I can find a girl who can cover up for my drunk ass, whew, wifey.
Wifey.
That's crazy.
That was basically the thing, and it.
First of
they're
all,
awesome.
Yeah, lucky him, bro. Because I know
Stefania is that girl.
I know a bunch of dates I've been on where if I got drunk, they would have just left me there.
Bye.
Yeah. Like, oh wow. Well, good luck, sport. Take her easy. Yeah.
See you never.
Yeah.
You
They
can
order
take-
another appetizer and then just leave my drunk ass there.
You can take the next one, David.
Where am I? Here I am, number 7. Excuse me.
Wow.
In early January of this year, I reconnected with someone I was involved with a couple years ago, but hadn't seen or really spoken with since maybe early 2018 or late 2017. The date went well. We were just vibing at my place, but sometime around midnight or so, a random dude walked into my house through an unlocked door and wanted to speak to her. Turns out it was her husband. It put a real damper on the evening, that's for sure.
I'm just like,
Holy moly.
like in my head,
What?
I'm
That
just,
is not where I thought that was
I'm
going
just
at all.
imagining like,
First of all,
like
if
there's
someone
just-
rolls up, period.
like
I'm-
imagine you're in your living room, right? You're hanging out. You're I don't know, sitting on the couch watching a movie.
it's
or
her
something.
place.
Yeah. It's.
That's bro. I would have a stroke.
But like,
I'd be crying.
I'd be pissing my
I'd be
pants.
like, good night.
Your her husband. Oh,
Oh, I didn't
I was
know
just,
that.
I was
Sir-
on my way out.
sir, I'm actually the carpenter. Actually,
I was, taking a breather. It's hard
Yeah.
work, carpenting.
Whew.
Close one.
Dude, that is terrifying.
I'd cry.
I'm just imagining like a horror movie scene of like him backlit and just walking through the door, like ready to murder the guy.
Who are you, boy?
That's insane.
That's terrifying.
Jeez.
All right, so never do that again.
Yeah, don't do that. Make
Holy
sure they're
moly,
not
yeah.
married.
Please, for your safety, please don't do that again.
All right, so
Um,
David, now this is your turn.
He just read the
Oh
last
wait,
one.
you're.
Read 2 in a row. Holy
Julian.
moly.
Julian.
So I dated this girl for 2 months, and I think to myself that 2 months is a reasonable time to go for a kiss.
Wow.
and
holy
she's
smokes.
she's
2
all woke
2
and
days.
stuff.
I'm
So I
2
asked.
hours, maybe.
You know what?
So I
No, I'm
asked her
kidding.
for consent, just to make her feel comfortable.
Okay.
Consent is key.
20
That's
night, 20
very nice.
2020. So
Very,
way to do
very
it.
nice.
We love that.
So she came to my place and we were chilling. I tried to go for the kiss, and she was so shy at first, but after that, she let me kiss her. The
Okay.
kiss was awkward, and after we kissed, she changed the subject to school and homework, and it was
Ooh.
super uncomfortable.
Tough crowd.
Because we talked about school after we kissed, but after that, she said she appreciated the
Oh my-
kiss.
Dude, imagine you because someone's like, oh, I
I
really
appreciate
appreciated
it.
that kiss
Thank
there.
you.
Thanks a lot.
I would be like, I'm never kissing a
Yo,
human being
I would-
again.
For real.
But I ended up breaking up with her anyway.
Oh my god.
Since all she wants to do is talk, so I feel like we should just be friends, which is not a bad assessment. I
Oh,
mean, if you
okay.
feel like if you feel Now I understand a guy's frustration from not getting a kiss that they thought they would get.
Oh my
But
god.
still consent
No,
is very
for
important.
sure.
So
But
this is a
holy
girl
moly.
talking about her kissing a girl. That's why.
Okay.
Because that's the
Holy
part about
moly.
the guy. This is
This
what
is
I heard.
that like
God,
her. This
I'm
is a
uncomfortable-
very
I'm uncomfortable just hearing this. The fact that that was just so awkward.
this is a very fair like judgment to make. Like, hey, if you feel like you're more friendly with the person rather than like trying to force a relationship, then just be friends with them. It's fine.
That is
And
true.
you're hooking up with a girl, and then all of a sudden you pull out like, so how's school? Huh? I appreciate that kiss, by the way.
How's your GPA?
Yeah.
Do you have any
class
assignments
is yeah,
due?
class is interesting this semester or what?
Aw, poor girl.
Yeah, that kind of it sounds unfortunate.
That's a rough one.
but
Hey,
at least you're friends. At least you're still friends.
Cheers,
That's
sister.
cool.
We've all been there.
That's cool.
Dang. I'd be
Nicole?
freaking
I
crying.
really appreciate that kiss. Thanks a lot.
So it says, had a guy, you know this guy. Oh, wait, because it was sent to me.
Parentheses,
Oh.
you know this guy, LMAO.
Had a guy invite me to see Cats on Broadway that just so happened to be on Valentine's Day. It was basically a double date, but we were not even talking apparently. LOL.
Ew.
I met his parents that night. Cats was just
Whoa.
was a fever dream. Then I went home.
First of all, I can believe that. Cat seems like just a
Yeah,
absolute
I have
acid trip.
I have no context for the Broadway show, but like if it's anything like the movie,
I don't know about that one.
Dude, they literally look like Thundercats, all of them. It's kind of weird.
Thundercats.
Oh.
That show was amazing. Anyway,
First of all,
Um,
imagine going on a. Wait, this is the first date or is it double
they
date?
weren't dating.
went on a
It
double
just
date.
seemed like a date.
And
but they
met
weren't
They
dating.
met his parents that night.
Yeah.
If I met a kid's parents on the first night, I'd be like,
Dude, that's happened to me before.
Can I go home?
Really?
I was talking to this.
Please tell us the
I
story.
was talking to this chick I used to work with, and she invited me to her place, obviously to just to
Hang out,
sure,
chill, vibe.
yeah, sure.
You know.
And literally, I'm outside her house. She was like, "Oh, just come on inside." And I knock, and her mom opens the door, and she's like, "Oh, like I want you to meet my mom." Before we went to my room, and it's like, "Hi, nice to meet you, David. Pleasure."
now I'm gonna break your daughter's back.
Yeah, I'm just like, holy, all right, yeah. So, dude, like, this is the first time we were ever meeting up, and it's like
That was
11
your first date.
Dude, this is like 11:30 on a Friday.
Okay, so it's a hookup, not even
Yeah,
like a
no,
date.
this is a hookup. No, this is a hookup. I go and I'm literally meeting her mom and her brother first night.
First of all, I don't even sneak people
Mad
into my
weird.
house, but if
Mad weird.
that was the case, I'd rather sneak someone into my house
It
than
was
that.
very uncomfortable.
That's so
Because like
weird.
it's 11:30 on a Friday. We're not playing. You're not reading the Bible together, you know.
We ain't
Yikes.
playing Unos. The only Uno
But
you
yeah,
get in is
definitely
the I don't
very-
Okay.
Very
Well,
weird.
I don't know where that one was going.
I don't know
very
either.
weird.
That sounds bad.
That's
Yeah.
so-
Her
I'm
mother
so
was a
sorry.
sweetheart though, so I can't
Aw.
complain.
Aw.
Did you go back?
No.
Oh, okay.
Understandable.
Yes.
Understandable.
Okay, okay.
Which one?
12.
Which one do you want
No,
to do?
I'll-
You want to do 12?
12 is
I'll
funny.
do 12. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to do 12 then. Wait, what about 11?
Go to 11.
All right. So in Boston, I went out with this guy to a ramen place. The bill had to be like $30, and when it came, he was being all weird and was like avoiding paying to the point where I was like, okay, I'll put it on my card.
Oh.
I paid for the whole thing. I made him buy me ice cream after. Like a week later, I noticed Venmo linked up with my contacts, and I requested money from him for the ramen, and he sent it.
You,
I mean,
Yo,
that's
power move.
fine.
You
Whoever
know-
this is, props to you.
you know what? I want to bring up, since we're talking about money. Okay, so when you guys go out on a date, do you guys usually pay?
Pay for everything.
I pay for everything.
Okay.
That's just like that's an unspoken rule.
If I don't go on a date, I'll work a couple extra shifts just so I know, like, all right, like I got money to like.
Me personally, as a female, I don't go out on dates unless I know I have money. Like I.
Good for you.
no,
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 I-
like
Yeah, no,
definitely.
no. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying.
that's
like
fair.
me,
yeah.
no, but I know girls who will just go out with guys because they want to like do it. Okay, that's fine. But me personally,
They wanna
I
do
hate
it, or-
like no,
No, just like not
Yeah.
thinking
like,
about the.
yeah. So like for me, like if I like say want to go out with a guy or whatever, I have to make sure that I have money in my bank account
Have
because
you
if
ever been-
not,
oh, just in case.
oh, and I've paid before. There's this one time I went out with a guy. I went out on this went out with him 2 times, and this is like a good story, but then also it's like what the truck. The first time we went out was like a Friday, and then like he paid for the drinks and whatever, like coffee, because we went to like a doggy cafe, and then
That sounds cool.
it
What
was
the hell's
cool.
a doggy cafe?
Like
It's
dogs
a-
are
it's a
like, you can bring
cafe, but there's, like,
dogs and
dogs
stuff like
everywhere.
that.
That would ruin my entire
It
meal.
was down.
Dude,
no,
I'm
it wasn't
sounds
a meal. It
awesome.
was just
I'm
coffee.
so allergic to dogs. It would just
Oh,
completely
that's
ruin.
why.
We're just like, what? What'd you say?
There are cat cafes too. Like
I'm allergic to both.
oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
really?
just-
If
speed
a
up this-
dog licks me, I'm like
Jeez.
Okay, I'm just gonna speed up the story because it's really long. So, then after the dog cafe, then we went to get ramen actually, and
Mhm.
then I didn't. I
Is it the same
hate
guy?
no,
Same
no,
guy?
no. I hate when I tell you I hate drinking and eating hot foods because I just get so uncomfortable and I just overheat and it's just weird. But even though I
I
didn't
kind of
touch
get
it,
that. Yeah.
So yeah,
Even-
Nicole's Eskimo. If you guys didn't know.
even though I don't touch, like I didn't really eat the ramen and whatever, I still like paid like almost half, like more than half of the meal and whatever. I
Mhm.
don't mind whatever. Then the second time we went out, it was like on a Sunday, and this story is probably the worst date that I've ever been on at this time because first it was just like me getting back into the dating field, whatever. I was
The
like
field.
whatever, and
Out
I was.
here in the field.
That was like my second date after like I had broken up with my ex, like after like a year. And then so we go. So he texted me. He was like, "Hey, do you want to go ice skating?" And it's like a Sunday. The next day is like a Monday, and I had a really long day. And me personally, like I don't really go out on Sundays because I feel
Yeah.
like my parents brought me up where like Sundays are the days to like rest before
Just
like your
chill, yeah.
week. Yeah. I don't know. That's just
It's
me.
the Lord's Day.
That's
I get
just
that.
that's just my friends think it's weird, but that's just how I
No, I
grew
get
up.
that. Yeah.
Bro,
But
Sunday's David's. It's Sun David, bro. I gotta take my day, bro.
so then he texted me. He was just like, "Hey, do you want to go ice skating?" I'm like, "No, I don't really feel good. I don't really want to go." Like,
Screw that. Sounds like,
like,
an
you know,
awful day.
so then he was just like, "Oh, do you want to get dinner instead?" I'm like, "Yeah, we could go to dinner." And then I'm like, "Cause like the dorms, like they have like there was like a pasta place that I always go to. I'm like, you can come
Oh,
and
yeah.
come get pasta, and like it's right there." And so when he came over, he came to my dorms, and then he came upstairs because he came early, like a half an hour early, and I was just like, okay, we have reservations for 9:30. It's 9. Okay, we could just come up. And I wasn't done getting ready. So we came up and then we get to my dorms and one of my friends from the different floor in like the Manhattan School of Music came to my door because I gave him my Metro Pass because it was his birthday. He needed a Metro Pass and I knew I wasn't going to go out.
Mhm.
So I gave him my Metro Pass. When the guy that I'm going out on a date with is in my room, he comes and gives me my Metro Pass. I tell each other hi, like introduce each other. And then my friend's like talking to me, like wondering if I'm like Hispanic, whatever. Anyways, because he's foreign, whatever.
All right, continue.
Anyway,
This
so
is
then
okay. I
like-
like how this is the shorter version
no,
of
no,
the
no, no.
story.
But
This
it's
is
the
like
dense
the
version.
But it's insane because when the door closes, then the guy that I'm out on the date with asked, he was just, and like the guy that came to the door, he's gay. And like you could kind of tell, like, you know, he's like, you know,
But like you weren't interested.
like
in
I
him.
wasn't
Yeah.
interested. I'm literally having a conversation. So the guy's sitting there at my desk and he was just like, so who is that?
Oh boy.
Who was that? And I was just
Oh,
like,
God.
my friend, he's like from a different floor. He had my Metro Pass. And then I'm putting my Metro Pass and he was just like, he seems really interested in you because he was asking a lot of questions. And I was like, well, not really because he's gay. And he was, before I even said that, he was like, I'm assuming he's gay, right? And I'm like,
Jeez.
calm down,
Pump the
calm
brakes there,
down,
hombre.
Wow.
slow
Pumps the brakes
Did
down.
you
there, hombre.
actually like end up going to dinner with him?
Yes, but wait. This is actually a really long
Alright,
story.
we're
I'm
on like
sorry.
50 minutes, so.
Oh, we
Well,
can-
no, we're at like 43. We're good.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'm gonna speed up one more minute. Okay, so then
Yeah, bro, this is really long. We're
Shut
not
up.
even on the date yet.
shut up. So then he literally interrogates me of like when's the last time I dated someone, like how long, what happened, blah blah
grilling
blah,
ya,
like
yeah.
grilling me like so hard.
What's your
And
date of birth? What's your
so-
social security number?
So then I asked him, I'm like, so when's your last relationship? He was like, in high school.
None of your business.
We ended up breaking up because I cheated on her, and I was just like,
Good.
what the
Good,
heck?
thanks,
I'm
guy.
like,
Waiter. Waiter.
We're not even there yet.
Check, please.
But anyway, so speed up to the time that we're in the restaurant. We finally get there early because he's like harassing me to get there on time.
Jeez.
And we're literally less than a block away. And then he asked me, this is the part that I knew that I shouldn't have been on this date with this guy because he was just like, so what's your favorite movie? Like, what's the latest movie you watch? And at that time, the last movie that I watched
What a weird question.
was True Romance. And when I watched True Romance, there was this one scene that like Erin, my best friend, her dad told us like not to like really watch, to skip over because it was like gory, whatever, like people were getting killed. So then he told me,
You 12? What?
shut up.
The
So
Walking,
then-
there's gore and blood.
It was like pointless, whatever. So then I brought that up and he was just like, oh, I've never seen that movie, but there's just one specific scene that I would watch religiously because it was just so like amazing. And I was just like, oh, what scene was it? And it was the stupid
The
gore.
part where they
it
all
was,
die.
Yeah, it was a gory scene that my friend's parent told us not to watch.
I think you went out with the psychopath.
Exactly. And then at that point, I was just like, what the hell am I doing? I went to the bathroom, called Sarah. I'm like, Sarah, I don't think I could do this anymore. I'm leaving the
Mom,
date.
pick me up.
Mom picked me up. I'm scared. So then I went back to the table and I told him, I was just like, hey, like, I don't feel good. I'm going to go back. And he was like, oh, I
I
can
was
come
hoping
with
you
you.
just. I was hoping you just dipped.
He was just like, I could come with you. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go to bed, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't feel good. He was like, oh, you should have told me so I didn't come all this way to like have you like feel sick. And I'm like,
Damn.
I was like, wow. I was like, I love this so much. I ended up paying like half of the meal, and I got a $9 pasta, and he got like a fancy drink and a really expensive pasta too. And I was just like, I just need to get the hell out
I
of
just
here.
need to go. I gotta go.
So that was like a really long story, even though I said it was
I
short.
think that was like a 7-minute story.
Yeah, I don't think that was very short, but it's
Alright.
fine. It's fine.
Anyway.
I like how about like 5% of that was the actual date.
Let's do a few more, and then I'll tell my single story.
Single story?
12.
Wow,
right?
thanks. Good word, buddy.
No, you said it.
I'll do.
No.
Have I-
Didn't,
12.
Who's
David,
re-
David was gonna.
Who's
do
reading?
this one.
Oh, you were reading 12.
12.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Once I was talking to this kid. OMG, he was so sweet. Definitely had the biggest crush on him. He was so nice to me. He would pay for my Ubers like randomly, like if I was going out with my friends or literally going to Target. Anyways,
What
he
kind of
lived.
man?
First of all, this is clearly a girl. Anyways, he lived outside of Boston, like 20 minutes from my apartment. And so it was like hanging, and obviously we were about to bang. And I was like, do you have a condom? Because safe sex is important. And he didn't. He lived with two other guys there were all 22 to 23, and nobody had a condom. How do really?
You live with three.
Yeah,
three
right.
guys.
Now
and
one
nobody
got
has
a rubber,
condom.
huh?
So obviously they don't do protection.
So in
bags.
Boston, there's this app
So
called.
in Boston.
Boston.
So in Boston, there's this app called GoPuff, and it's basically a convenience store delivery app. So he ordered condoms and us a Gatorade to meet the minimum. I was going to take like 30 minutes, so we fell asleep. I wasn't in a deep sleep, so I heard his phone ring, and I didn't wake him up because I didn't want to have sex anymore with him. LOL.
So she left.
You're telling me
Just got impatient.
you live in a major city. First of all, you live with two other adult men.
and don't have a
No one
condom.
has a condom, and you can't go out to get one real quick.
You guys are lazy, and you guys need to be protected.
What's wrong with
Please.
you?
No, not
Get a
even like
hefty
the-
bag or something.
not even, no, just the fact that
Hefty,
like
hefty.
just the fact that there's three guys in one home and like there's no condoms.
Yeah, that's a
like,
bad
that's
sign.
so bad.
Definitely something. Yeah.
That's a bad sign.
I would have just picked up and left. I would have been like, all right, then that means I
Yeah,
should go
that's
home.
kind of a like.
I'm glad she
sign
didn't have
to
sex
go.
with him because that would have been a waste of time.
But I mean,
And
OMG, he was so sweet.
that is true. That
And
is
she
true.
was
he
obviously
would like pay for like all of my Ubers.
she was obviously down AF.
down AF.
a word.
That's in all caps.
And I was down and I was down AF. I was ready.
All right, now you two. And now you.
Which one?
Good for first of all, good
Oh,
for you for practicing safe sex.
Yeah, good on you. Really good.
We love you.
I was. Oh, this might be the same person. I think. I also went on a couple dates with this kid. He
Oh, is
couldn't-
that what those spaces are? The blurred out names?
Yeah, those are
Okay,
names
okay.
we just got rid of. He couldn't stop referring to his ex, who was also from Staten Island, and I ghosted him because
Well,
I could not.
there's your first problem.
because
He's
I
from
could
Staten
not
Island.
deal with it anymore. I felt bad because he kept texting me, and I finally texted him back saying, "Just some advice: stop talking about your ex." Yeah, don't talk about other relationships.
Drop the mic.
Oh, shit.
On a date with someone. Don't do that.
Yeah, that is true.
That's like
I like that
Common
shirt. I think my
sense.
ex would look a lot better in that shirt.
just like the guy you liked.
Oh my god.
Hey, I don't like you. I like your sister. Be your sister, or I don't like you.
Jesus Christ. I go through the worst.
Nicole, read one more.
So it says.
I didn't think I was gonna be going
This-
last, but here we go.
This girl took me out on a date on her birthday, and I had a crush on her since the summer. So we went to dinner and got mozzarella sticks and milkshakes.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
lactose
Ooh.
intolerant.
Yo, I feel this.
My
bro.
heart goes out to you.
I go
whoever
to the,
you
bro,
are.
I go to the same
I'm
pizza
so
place.
sorry.
Most of my dates, I go to the same like pizza place I have. Like it's got like really good martinis, but like the pizzas are just rough.
See, but like from the sound,
I carry my lactate pills though.
Yeah,
so I'm
but,
prepared.
like-
Word.
like
Prepared
from
just in case.
from the sound of this, it sounds like they were not intending to go and like eat dairy.
Hey,
Dang.
no
And it
anal-
just
no anal-
happened?
No anal that night, I guess.
David!
Hey, I mean,
No, it's fine.
He's got a point.
That is true.
Whoever you are, I'm so sorry.
Yo, I'm not, as a fellow lactose intolerant, I so feel your pain. Believe me.
I'm so
Word.
sorry.
I can't even drink regular coffee from Mo's Cart without crying. So that's my story.
Dating.
The
Ugh.
Oh wait, so tell us your
yeah,
story.
like one of many cringy situations that really
The
stick out to
Forever
me.
Alone meme, right?
Yeah, that's me. I went on a date to a movie.
What movie?
Oh God, what movie was it? I can't remember.
Saw 3.
I wasn't really paying attention to the movie because I was like, this
What?
was
he wasn't paying.
no. This was like one of my.
You looking good tonight,
This
honey.
one of my.
Good
This
in the
was
door.
You ever play hockey? You ever play
this
tonsil
was one
hockey?
of my very first like actual dates. So I was very nervous, like
Aw.
just sitting there, like
Aw.
conscious of the fact that she's sitting next to me and I'm here.
I'd honestly focus on the movie, honestly.
And
I'd be like,
like I was trying to, but I
You
couldn't.
say
Really.
something?
And
I don't want to freaking kiss you.
Stop! This is the good part.
Shut up. We had like two or three other friends with us. But they were like further down. And at one point she tries to like hold my hand. If she listens to this, she's gonna be so
Hey,
like
man.
we're friends now. We're good friends. But like this, if she ever hears this, she's gonna like
Whose
hate me for-
name?
So she tries to like hold my hand, and at this point, like I'm petrified. So like I don't really move enough to like actually grasp her hand. So we end like it ends up kind of going like this, and she's just holding my thumb.
Yo, wait, hold up. I
she's
hold my
holding-
people's pinkies.
She's no, but
you're weird.
she's holding my thumb, and I'm
Dog,
like,
imagine
I-
someone just like
and I have
Okay,
no,
yeah.
I have
That's
no
weird.
intent.
The
I
pinky's
barely,
different.
barely
Give me your
did.
pinky. The pinky's different.
All
That's still
but
kinda
the
weird.
Thumb is just like,
But
All right.
and like at that point, I'm good. Like I have no intent to like move because I didn't want to mess anything else up. But I'd already messed it up.
Now you should have
and
been
then-
like,
And then she has to like readjust and actually like fix our hands. So we're actually holding hands. But like in my
she
head,
a
I'm like,
real one.
oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
You're
Like,
stupid. That's
I
why.
am stupid.
that
Um,
sort of happened to me too. I was
and
on a date,
then-
and that happened to me.
And then her mom picked her up, and
Did you guys kiss goodbye?
no, I met her mom. Ew. I met that noise is disgusting.
His dog was so.
I met her mom outside of the theater, and it was very awkward. I didn't know what to say.
I know that feeling.
I was still in my uniform because I went to a Catholic school.
You totally left that part out till the
And,
end. Till the end, you left that out.
Yeah, it was
So
a
that's why you
bad.
didn't know how to grab someone's hand.
It was a bad time. Didn't know how to hold hands.
I can't grab hands, but I can grab that cross,
I was
baby.
terrified.
I can grab that body of Christ.
So that was bad.
Hey, you know what? Memories. We love that.
And, Yeah.
So you now look. You learned. You learned.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't learn anything.
You learned not to grab someone by that thumb at least.
No. You want to hold thumbs? You want to hold my thumb? Thanks, man.
That
okay,
really-
so wait, to end this
Um,
off too, we have to talk about what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day?
I said this joke to someone else, but like I'm trying to figure out like what restaurant I'm ordering from so I can stay inside.
You stupid.
Table for one,
Um,
please.
I really don't know. I have ideas, but I don't really know if I'm gonna act on anything.
Okay. Why don't you ask someone else?
I don't know.
Why don't you ask me out, honey?
Do you want to go on a date?
Hell no.
I'm asking you out right now.
Hell no.
On live.
I feel like you're asking this just so you can talk about
No,
your
no, no, no,
Valentine.
no,
So
no,
you're
no,
going
no, no,
last.
no, no, no,
You're
no,
going
no, no.
last.
Thing is,
No.
I think she knows that neither of us have plans. and
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
she
she's just
does.
trying to like rub
She
it
does.
in. She's
Yeah.
trying to rub it in. At
You
this
know-
point.
I have a date. I don't know about
You're
you
so
guys.
I have plans.
So
this
you know
year.
what? Maybe it seems like that, but we always talk about what our plans are.
You
for
literally
things.
said, "Oh, I thought you were saying that you didn't have plans." About to say, I'm pretty sure you told us before that you don't you have.
She's
Valentine's Day
mentioned it
plans?
a few times
Yeah, but that's
now.
fine. Literally, I told you one time, and then I
No,
told him when
no.
you were there.
You said it like 2 or 3 times today, and then
I'm gonna.
you said
No.
it.
I'm gonna sit at
yesterday.
home, watch Serendipity, and cry. I don't know.
Don't cry. Take someone out.
Maybe I'll watch.
don't want to.
Maybe I'll watch Marriage Story and cry.
You
Maybe that's
know
what
yeah,
I
a
do.
story about divorce on Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Adam Driver's such a good actor.
Scarlett, don't leave it.
There's another movie that he was in that I'm trying to figure out.
Star Wars.
I was about to say that too.
Not that movie.
Black Klansman.
Oh, I don't know.
That movie was really good.
What else?
I'll do some
There was
research
something
on
else.
He was in Girls.
There was something else. There was something else big. I'm not
My eyes itchy.
remembering. Anyway, yeah. Currently, we don't have plans, Nicole. Do you
Make
want
a
to talk
plan.
about your
no,
plans?
I don't want to talk
Thanks.
about my plans.
Are you sure?
No.
Because it sounds like you really
No.
want to talk about your
See,
plans.
I was asking because this is what we normally do when we have things going on, events that we talk about what
But
we're doing.
We don't,
so
have,
You know
that-
what?
we don't have things going on.
You know what? Why don't you tell us about what you did on your Valentine's Day in the next recording? And let's just end this here.
And then,
because
we'll cut
obviously,
it out.
I'm
What'd you do? Well, actually,
I'm not actually heated. It's fine. If you,
I'm heated.
that scared me a little bit.
Yeah, it scared me.
If you want to talk about your date, Nicole,
No, I don't want
you're
to talk
free
about
to do
You can
I
talk
don't
about it,
wanna-
but we'll listen kind of just like, oh,
No, wow.
that's crazy.
Wow, he's taking you there. Wow.
No way. Wow. That's like,
We're going to the movies, but I don't know what movie.
Okay.
And if it's a
Is
bad
that-
movie, then
Is that it? Like, are you doing a full day thing, or
I
is
don't
it just
know. He planned it. I don't
okay?
know.
So it's a surprise to you.
I guess.
no chocolates and roses.
I hope not.
Big old teddy bear.
He probably
I
is.
thought you were gonna
There's
say
pro-
something
there's
else.
probably
yeah.
there's-
Big old.
Daddy.
Big old.
there's probably gonna be some chocolates involved. How can you not have chocolate on
I thought you were
Valentine's
going to
Day?
say something else. I was about to say, oh God, okay.
No,
Okay,
There's gonna-
Julian's going
Holy
there.
moly.
No. Okay, I think we need to end this episode before something bad happens.
But honestly, this
Um,
is cool because this is the new. We don't really care anymore. Honestly, it is what it is.
Yeah. We're-
Well said.
yeah, some,
Hashtag
some things are changing
YOLO.
around here, you know.
Hey, Ochoa, do you have any bad date stories? Oh, come on. Give us one. Give me one.
He just gave us that look like I don't know
Give
if
me
I
one.
want to talk
Give me
about
one.
it. Yeah, we got time for one.
Oh,
Go.
please.
Quick story.
This was before I was banned from Tinder, right?
You were
Tender.
banned
Yeah.
from Tinder.
Tander.
Yeah, I was
Tander.
banned from
You mean
Tinder.
Tinder?
For
Tinder-
what?
You said Tander.
Oh, that is really.
Yeah, you said
Yeah, you
Tander.
did.
So I'll explain why I got banned from Tinder.
I'm scared.
I jokingly put my bio trying to make 5K on Pornhub. Who's down?
Oh my lord.
30 seconds later, I'm gone.
30 seconds.
Yeah, someone
jeez.
snitched. Someone snitched.
Oh, you got like reported.
Yeah, I got reported.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Like,
like
girls have
gone.
like their premium Snapchats and their Tinder. All the
Everyone
time.
has an
Jeez.
OnlyFans now.
Yeah, man,
Exactly.
yeah,
Why can't I have my own?
Can we talk about that one episode?
Yeah, we can. We can get into
What
that.
if you find
All right.
someone who has an OnlyFans?
Quick story.
All right,
Bad-
so
bad date.
basically, Tinder date. She was local. Did I say it again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
One of your quirks.
we went to one of like a underground
Railroad.
like gig thing, like
Ooh.
bands.
Oh,
right?
like
like local people,
Sounds
right?
fire.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It was actually dope.
That sounds cool.
It was pretty
Swag.
fun.
What?
But the drive back, no one spoke,
Why?
Yikes.
and it was an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh
Oh.
no.
Silence?
It was just silence.
Why?
Oh no.
I honestly don't know.
Wait, why didn't you say anything?
Were you drunk?
No, it's completely. We were both sober.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
Like
I
it was
would've been
a
sweating after an
fun
hour.
like experience. I guess I
just
didn't
not with her?
connect,
You-
yeah.
Are you
can laugh
guys-
at it now.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Totally
like
fucking
friends at least, or
At first we were, but things just faded away, and I was like, yeah,
that
it's gone.
sucks?
Yeah,
Gone with the
I'm
wind,
sorry.
baby,
Gone with the
I'm
wind,
so
baby.
sorry.
That's booty cheeks.
But yeah,
Thank you for
Thank
contributing.
you,
sir.
Ochoa. Bravo.
Alrighty, guys.
Note to self:
well,
never go on a date with Ochoa. Holy moly! You won't talk to me. Yeah.
That 1 hour and a half
Yeah.
ride home is
Listen,
gonna be
It's
solid.
okay.
whether-
It's okay. I'll talk to you for that hour and a half.
whether you got a thing going on, or you're single, or you got a date like someone over here, we hope you have a great Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
If you feel sad, just picture me crying to serendipity
I'm gonna
in
be
my
crying
bed.
too,
Yeah,
but it's
in my
okay.
robe, covered in like Dorito dust.
eating Rocky Road ice
Look
cream.
at me.
But yeah, we hope you enjoy your Valentine's Day. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
Stay safe. If you're doing the do, protect yourselves, please.
Okay, sounds like you're sponsored by Mountain Dew. Do the do.
If you're doing the deed, protect yourselves.
Yeah,
please.
don't be a
Doing the
fool. Wrap your
dirty.
tool.
Don't be silly.
Wrap your willy.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it neat. Wrap your meat.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
I wish I knew more slogans.
Thank you very much.
Do I have any more?
Dude, you say it every time. Keep
Keep on
there
rocking
you
the
go.
free
Why'd I have to
world.
remind
No,
you
no,
of
no,
that?
no, because he was thinking about like a dirty other
No,
comment to
another-
say.
Alright,
But
we're
all right,
leaving.
anyway,
Okay.
bye
Bye,
guys.
guys.